All right. What's up, real fam? How is everybody doing today? It's a weekend. Thank God it's Friday. Another beautiful day, people. Another beautiful weekend. I believe we are all balling. Shout out to everybody. Please, it's Friday. Go enjoy yourselves. My sister, my brother, we got only one life to live. Don't let anyone rob you of your happiness. So do me a favor. It's Friday. When you get off work, go have some fun. Be silly, be nasty. Do whatever you want to do. And I see the roof in the backstage. They've somehow, somewhere, they managed to kickstart the Friday already. Oh, blood of Jesus. These real fam people at the backstage, they got a conversation going down there. I look at the convo and I realize that this conversation is above my pay grade. So I just stay back and observing. I did not say pim. You know, mature people, they can discuss some things at times and they will be speaking in tongues, they will be speaking in parable. You won't even know what they are talking about until you begin to dissect and analyze. So, real fam, shout out to you guys. Oh, that conversation you got going is way above me. I cannot relate. Make una no verse. All I was doing was just to laugh. Laughter don't finish me. And that's why I think some of my real fam sisters and uncle, we need to send them to jail. As soon as I find a lawyer that can help me prosecute them, yes, we got to send them to jail. Oh my God, they go jail. The first person when I go sue, na Misty. Misty and Dr. Adama, oh, those two, they go hear from my FBI. All right, how you doing, everybody? Before we kickstart this, tell me, how is your day going? Are you ready for the weekend? So what do you plan for the weekend? Let's do that real quick. Don't waste time. Sharp. Make we do that one first. Oh yeah. I see everybody. So tell me, when I call you, just tell me your plan for the weekend, okay? Welcome, everybody. Please hit the like button. Don't be a stranger. This is the Real Fam. I've told you guys several times, the channel carries my name, but if you have been here for a while, you will know that this is not about me. It's about the Real Fam. And that's why we always pray for our Real Fam, both the subscribers, those who participate in the chat, and the VIPs in the backstage. We are grateful to you all. God bless you for all the support, and God bless you for not holding back. You come here and you help us break all these difficult conversations down so it can make sense. So God bless you all. So if you're watching us for the first time, don't be a stranger. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and always participate in our discussions. The coolest thing about our channel is here we are like family. You know, we handle difficult conversation with maturity. Even when it gets hot, we still walk around it, and the next day we are laughing and smiling again. Life no hard. Now some people just they make it difficult. That has always been my mantra. Be happy. I like to stay in a happy environment. So that's why it doesn't matter how tough the conversation could be. So far, I can laugh. Forget it. Nothing more. So thank you, everybody. Comfort Adagri, my baby girl. Shout out to you, Comfort. You're welcome. Look, you will not come to the studio earlier. When I want wrong, go work. Now that I will say, bros, drop link, bros. Look, you are a politician. And I don't roll with politicians. Matter don't tire me. You go wait a time minute. You won't come do Tinubu for me. He's not working. Look. But how you doing, my buddy? Luke has been with me for how many years now, Luke? It be like don't they reach 5 or 4 years. When me and Luke don't they roll. Oh. Mercy Kendra, my Juliet Jubri, how are you, my dear? Balogun Zainab. In fact, one of the topic I want to cover today, Zainab sent that topic to me and I look at it and I'm like, I've been running away for that topic. I don't like DV. I don't like domestic violence. So, but when she sent it to me again and I watch it over and over again, then I'll be like, man, really, there are so many lessons to be learned here. All right, let's add it to our show. So thank you, my Zainab. And to anyone else, this is Real Fam. If you find anything online and you want us to have a show about it, please do not hesitate. Send it to me through WhatsApp. That is the studio dedicated number. Is always on, but sometimes it might not be with me. But drop message every morning when I wake up. The first thing I do is to go through the phone to see if people have left messages or if I miss some calls. So please don't hesitate. Send it to that number through WhatsApp. So save the number in your phone. So far you are here with us. You are a member of the Real Fam. So again, shout out to you, Zainab. You are an angel. We're gonna talk about that. I see you, AJ. How far, Baba? AJ, my man. AJ, the topic we want to discuss today, you better take it easy. May you no collect to, may you no go collect bags, bows, Baba. And there is my sweet baby sister, my Bilber. What's up, mommy? I hope Canada cold no they cash you, Biba. Well, cold no fit cash fine girl like you anyway. Ha, hey, cool, okay. When baby fine like this, you no go happen lie. Uncle Emeka, hey. Wow, Uncle Emeka na fine man. No, I swear, I spoke with Uncle Emeka and we do a kind of like video chat. And I saw Uncle Emeka and I'm like, Uncle Emeka, I beg, no, they talk your age. You are too young to be that. You know when you see RMD, now so Uncle Emeka be. I pray one day you guys will get to see him maybe on our platform here. Uncle Emeka fresh, oh. Hey. I see him, I say, God, I beg. When I retire, this is how I want to look. Make I still look sexy. Make young girls still see me. They say, hi, daddy. Oh, daddy. Shout out to you, Uncle Emeka. You are welcome. I hope they welcome you well at the backstage, Uncle Emeka. It be like Uncle Emeka said, another troublemaker. I told you, the conversation they got going at the backstage this morning, the conversation is above my pay grade. I'm just like, I not go even dabble because Sister Rose don't already they threaten me. Sister Rose say if she catch me for corner all by myself, and Uncle Dayo say he won't send ticket to Sister Rose. May Sister Rose can't catch me for Texas all by myself. I beg. I see that conversation. I'm like, I'm not getting involved. So, Real Fam, we are going to arrest some of our uncles and aunties in this family. Misty, Dr. Damas, Sister Rose. Uncle Emeka, you said we go arrest you. You are a criminal too. Uncle Dayo, Jesus. You know, I told you in the backstage, I don't do shit in the backstage. My only job is when people are added to the group, I approve. I don't get anything where I want to discuss. All the people in the backstage, these are like classic, you know, people that you pray to God, you want them to be in your circle. All of them pass me. Now only few people, now they migrate. That's what I they do bars both like CC, Marriott, Didi, D, Miss J, Sister Yinka, Samolu, yes. Now my level them be that. So me and those one with the drag, but you see this other aunties and uncles, no. I know they follow them drag. I don't want chop koboko. So welcome everybody. Simbi, wait, where my Simbi? I never share link to Simbi. You see this Simbi, When I see this Simbi, so I've told you guys, Simbi is my emotional support. When I'm here without Simbi, you feel like I'm flying empty. Simbi! Shout out to my Misty in the building. Misty. Oh man, I love when Misty speaks. That voice, the voice they totori me. All right, I bet make let me go find Simbi. Now Simbi be my emotional support. Even though say she said she be troublemaker, but I know they take that my baby girl play at all. Simbi, Okay, she said, man, I know they should yell her name. Okay, Simbi, I know yell. Just come to the studio, Biko. All right. All right. We're going to be welcoming our real fam as they join. Please, everybody, welcome each other. Let's welcome our new members, new viewers, everybody. And right now, let's get this show started on a good note. Please, how many likes do we have so far? Oh, yeah. Real fam, when I check from YouTube, I don't see YouTube from here. When I check from YouTube, how many likes we get? Mona, tell me how many likes we get to Mo increase the like to. We have how many people watching now? 23, 22. Please, let's get the like to 22. Just take like 3 seconds, go hit the like, and then come back to the chat. And we can have this conversation going sharp. All right. Please, let me say this ahead of time. We want to discuss two topics today. God permit, I pray we have the time to cover both topics. Please, this is a very, very sensitive topic. All right. This is a super sensitive topic. Biko, I think God beg you. There are people who are living this life right now. What we want to discuss, so some adults are living the same life and it's causing them pains every day. They can't get out of it. So it's a very sensitive topic. You know me, I will throw some questions. I will say some things that may trigger you. Please, don't get triggered. Let's just look at this topic from a place of maturity so that those who are going through this, they can listen to us and get guidance. They can get motivated, and they can find solace in some of the advice we're going to share today. And again, like we always said, here at the Real Fam, we don't do fake stories. My team members know, I always push them. You got to look for real life stories so that if we want to have a live session, we are talking about things that happen to people in real life. So some of the stories we'll bring here, you have seen them before, you've seen the videos, you are aware of when the topic was trending and all that. So please, we are dealing with people who are facing life challenges. So let us be friendly. Again, we're using these people as anchor to relate their situation to what is happening in other people's life. So even though we see their pictures and everything on our screen, please do not curse them out. We don't do trolling. We don't do cursing, please. Remember, no one is perfect. There are people who are actually experiencing this in real life. So please, I'm just begging. It's a very sensitive topic. People run away from it, or even when they discuss it at times, they turn it to something else. But I don't want us to go that route. So let's dive into this conversation. Wait, okay, my baby girl is here. Simbi, what's up, mommy? What's going on, yo? Make I talk like Gen Z.
Hello, Uncle Ben. How you doing today?
I'm
TGIF.
trying to be fine. Yeah, thank God it's Friday. Simbi, what's your plan for the weekend? I know they always do baby girl. CC younger sister. What's your plan for the day for this weekend, Simbi?
Uncle Ben, no plan. Me right now, I'm looking for broad chest that I'll put my head. Broad chest.
Broad chest. I can
put my head. Yes.
Broad chest like this one. Make I show you where that dance. Broad chest like this.
Uncle Ben, no. Not this one. Maybe like Mr. Emeka. We are chatting. You didn't read our chat.
Girl. No. Now, oh, thank God, I don't even share.
Mr. Emeka said he's single. Me, I'm crushing on him already.
Yes, Mr. Emeka is single. And honestly speaking, you know me now, I know they lie. If you see Mr. Emeka, if you have seen RMD, that's how he looks. I look at and I tell her, Uncle Emeka, I don't go lie. Please, don't tell people your age. The man was looking really, really super good. You know, he has military background. Yeah, he has military background, so he works out very well, everything. He's nothing closer to you.
No. That's enough information. Other ladies are listening. We'll talk about it.
Are you afraid of competition? What is wrong with you, Simbi?
No, Uncle Ben, you're giving out too much information and I'm not comfortable with that. Please, sir, stop.
Okay. And then say you like my broad-chested 6-pack. Okay, never is 6, 2-pack.
My boss is the boss of 6 packs.
Yeah.
My boss is lit, legit.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
that six
girl.
pack you're saying? A lot of work went into it. Yeah,
That's
please,
the
you
girl.
guys should give it up for Uncle Beno!
Simozu. Now you are talking.
Yes. Yeah, you're supposed to be getting endorsement. Oh, I'll think
Abi,
of one company that should give you endorsements. Yes.
it's not
Yes.
easy, my dear.
We need to show you off. Like, we need to show you off. Come on. Don't mind
Comfort,
them.
if I catch you. Comfort, if I catch you for corner, like Sister Rose, they threaten me. You say na 2 pack I get. If I catch you for corner, all by yourself alone, Malu ebi bembe no biu. Oh yeah, shout out to Uncle Emeka. Hey, yeah, Uncle Emeka won't take super chat. Finish us for you. Oh, God bless you, sir.
Yay. Oh, thank you, Mr. Maker. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Oh.
Give Uncle Emeka. In fact, appreciate Uncle Emeka in Russian language. Russian language now. Russian accent.
Oh Lord, my Father, bless this beautiful man that gave us $20 in super chat.
Amen.
It's not
Amen.
easy.
It's not
Bless him,
it.
increase his pocket. Anybody
Amen.
that want to trouble you, trouble them in the mighty
Amen.
name of Jesus. Father, in
Hallelujah.
the mighty name of Jesus, I command pounds, dollars,
Woo.
pounds, big money,
Oh
no
yeah.
loan.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
will
get.
never lack. You will
Simbi, you
always
don't.
prosper in the
Simbi.
mighty name of
Oh.
Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Simbi. You there afraid of competition. I don't catch you today. I sure Lenier. You know even get liver. You dey fear competition, yeah, again. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into today's conversation. All right, we're starting right about now. I can't believe I get logged out of my own studio. That's one of the problem with this what did they call them? All this technology. All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
I got
Can
logged
you
out
hear
of
me, sir?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Simbi. I got logged
Yes, I
out.
can hear you.
Simbi, it be like say your competitors don't begin work, now then log me out. All right. So the first topic we're gonna consider today is I want my father to do DNA. I want my father to do DNA. I came across this topic while watching our beautiful sister, Dr. Biola's channel. And you know, Dr. Biola, if you don't know her, she trended recently when she announced her separation from her husband on the husband birthday. And I think we covered the topic here. Now, Dr. Biola is a philanthropist. She's a great woman and she's helping a lot of people, honestly speaking. Her YouTube channel is so interesting. I think that YouTube channel should get like almost 1 million subscribers by now. But you know the way we are as Nigerians. We really don't support people who are doing great job like that. Most of the people that have the highest subscribers and followers, there are people who what they are doing does not really create much meaningful value in people's life. You know, people who are doing bad bulls, calling each other out, swearing, cursing each other, those are the people who support the most. But if you look at what Dr. Abiola is doing, I think a lot of people should subscribe to our channel. So what we're about to discuss now with this DNA drama, I've watched it twice. Hey, shout out to my cool mama. Cool mama, you have to teach me Zambia language. Oh. I want to be greeting you in Zambia language, okay? Please, cool mama, get the studio number, call me, teach me Zambia language. So when I see you like this, I go just welcome you in Zambia, okay? Thank you, my cool mama. God bless you, ma'am. So I watched the video twice and then it started making sense to me. And the story is all about a 36 years old man who desired to know his father, and the mom have already told him who his father is. But the problem is the father is not accepting him. The father actually disowned him, according to the story. And now at 36 with children, he's feeling this pain that where am I from? His name is Edet, but he speaks more of Yoruba and others. And sometimes he said he is confused. Even when people ask him, where are you from? He struggles because some people said he looks like an Igbo people. Some say he looks like Yoruba. And some said that, oh, you behave like Akwa Ibom people and things like that. So I think he got to a point where he's becoming depressed and all that. And then the wife, who happens to be a follower of Dr. Biola, now suggested that he should go and speak to Biola because the brother has made several attempts to get his father to do DNA. According to him, his mom have told him, that is your father. They've argued back and forth about it. The mom said, that is your father. The mom told him the backstory of how he was conceived and what led to the father denying him and all that. So to make this story make sense, I created this AI graphic to represent them. Like I said, these are real life people. They are humans. If you are following Dr. Sabiola YouTube channel, you should have seen this video. It is the latest episode on her channel. Welcome, my sister, Cherish Olivia. All right, guys, please hit the like so the algorithm can notify more people to join us. So in the graphics that I created, you see the alleged father. His name is Mr. Bassi. The man in the video on Dr. Biola's channel, his name is Edet. So I used that image right there to represent him. And then the woman on the screen to the right, that is Edet's mom. So the story goes that the mom told him that while he was working as secretary to Mr. Bassi, she and Mr. Bassi, they started having an affair. And Mr. Bassi was married at that time. He's still married now, but they were having conception problem. The wife did not conceive and they've been married for a while. So she knew what she walked into, that having affairs with this man, you know, your boss now is common. Maybe we not even go there. A lot of ladies, many ladies who work as secretary somewhere, one way or the other, they end up sleeping with their boss, especially if the boss is a nice man, looking good and all that. Not all secretary, or maybe they make it clear, but most times secretary and their bosses, they usually have an affair. And that is why some women they go fight you to the ground. If you are blessed, you have an office and your secretary is a fine girl, well, good day. You know, even me, when they talk like this, I like nyash. I won't lie to you. I like nyash, better portable nyash. And if I get office, I know sure say my madam go let me hire female secretary. May God protect me, you know. So it's common. So they started the affair, and then from the affair, she got pregnant, and then she had a death. When she had a death, the father at the time was happy, and he took responsibility for the baby. He was sending money, taking care of them. She has to quit the job and all that. But according to what the mother told Edet, the wife is a wicked woman. Now, the story is there. You can watch all those stories on Dr. Abiola's channel. So the mother told him that the man's wife is a wicked woman. So she has to like stay far away from the man with the baby. So the man was taking care of them. The man would send the driver to go give them money, anything they needed. The man will provide until Edet was like about 2 years old, and then Wahala started. Edet fell sick, so they took him to the hospital. And while at the hospital, they did a genotype, and the genotype came out that Edet is AA. I don't know the genotype of the father, but at that point, the father insisted that based on that genotype, Edet is not his son, and that is where Wahala started. So the man now disowned Edet right there and then, and everybody spoke at that time that you cannot confirm paternity by genotype, but the man, they say from there, the man no agree. Before Edet fell sick and they went to the hospital, something happened. Remember, I said the man was taking care of Edet and his mom, but he was doing that through the driver. It's not like nowadays where you can transfer money, you can do everything. So the man will always send his driver to go and give them money, food, anything they ever needed. Along the way, the driver was the one who now told the wife that the man get pikin outside though, he get a side chick we don't born for him for outside though. And the man was facing a lot of trouble with his wife before Edet fell sick. And then when they went to hospital, they did the genotype test, and it came out that Edet's genotype and the man did not match. And on the basis of that, the man disowned Edet and said Edet was not his son. After that, he stopped taking care of that and everything. So the mom went through several hurdles. She ended up with her sister. Her sister was helping them and all that. And then the mom found love again. Another man married her, and that man has been taking care of them. So Edet himself claim in the video that the man was responsible for everything, sending him to school, everything until he grew up, everything, that the man was really there. Now, but Edet said there is no connection between him and the man, that he doesn't really feel that father and son bond. That was part of what he was saying, that he doesn't feel that father and son bond. He's always feel like he's missing something. And then I think when he became an adult, him and the stepdad, they no longer get along, and that was it. So him now getting married, having his own children, and still don't know his father. He went back to his mom. Him and his mom, they are always fighting regarding his paternity. So finally, his wife, because the wife was living with him, if his wife noticed that he was going through a lot, so the wife now hop on social media, do all kinds of research, because the mom gave them the name of the father. He has not set eyes on his father. Remember, he was 2 years old when the father disowned him. So finally, they found the man out. He reached out to the dad, and then the dad invited them to come over. So he went, he saw the dad for the first time. The alleged father, so the father received them and everything. They even saw the father's wife. Now, the father, Mr. Bassi, and his wife, they have adopted a son. They now have a son that they adopted way back, that is even grown now. So when he got to meet Mr. Bassi, he now pleaded with Mr. Bassi again that he want them to do DNA, that genotype cannot really confirm a child's paternity. Now, before we move forward, let me see if everybody understood how paternity works. So here is our first question. Can genotype confirm paternity? All right. Can genotype confirm paternity? Real fam, you know how we roll. So if you think genotype can confirm paternity, drop a one in the chat. If you think it cannot confirm paternity, drop it too. So let's get that out of the way real quick. We're doing it as a poll so that we can all be on the same page. All right, because for me, genotype cannot really confirm paternity. So the only thing that can confirm paternity is DNA. That is universal. Everybody knows. But I don't know, maybe people might have different opinions. So drop a one or two. If you think genotype confirm paternity, drop one. If you think no, drop two. If you don't know at all, drop three. All right. So now, as an adult, he met his father and he said, Dad, please, can we just do DNA? DNA can actually tell me who is my father. This thing is eating me up. I need to know who is my dad. Don't worry, if it turns out negative that I'm not related to you, I will take it. Then I can move on. That is when the father now told him that, look, this thing is complicated. You are not my son. You need to talk to your mom. There is one other person that may likely be your father. Who is that person? The father now told him that there is Adewale. Possibly Adewale may be your father. Who is Adewale? So he asked his mom, who is Adewale again? Where is this Adewale came out from? Then the mom explained that she knew Mr. Adewale. However, she knew Mr. Adewale after she had him, not before. But the father is claiming that Mr. Adewale was messing with the mom at the same time when he was also messing with the mom, that possibly Adewale may likely be the father. So, but Edet insisted that, all right, let's just do your own DNA test. At least I can remove you from the options if you are not my father. So that is where they are right now. The father refused to do DNA. And the guy himself is struggling right now. When Dr. Biola asked him, what did he study? He said he studied social studies education. I'm now frowning, but remember, I've told you guys something here before that when you are going to the university, and I remember I told parents here, see, going to the university doesn't mean that whatever you study is what's going to make you rich. What I advise people, even my nephews, cousins, everybody, I always advise them, when you want to choose any field of study, if you know you are not up for it, to be a doctor, an engineer, a tech person, electrical, electronics, lawyer, accountant, all those courses that if you finish, you were lucky to be hired. If you know you are not up for it, if you have to study anything else at all, study a field that if you were not employed, you can create something for yourself. So please, the guy is struggling financially. He lamented about, apparently he seems to be a very good dad, but there is no money. So he's lamenting no money and everything. And the father, the alleged father, Mr. Bassi, is rich. So that's another problem. I remember Mr. Bassi is married to a woman who, even though she tried to have her own baby, she did not get her own baby. So they've adopted a child on their own. So that woman is somewhere. Mr. Bassi is rich. And here is him, Edet, who may possibly be his offspring. So wahala dey. That is the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here is what our conversation is going to be all about for this particular case. Where is it? I sent it to Real Fam. Real Fam, man. Something where I said, no. Message don't plenty here. Told you, this Real Fam. What are you people talking? Oh, wow. I go check WhatsApp now. Message don't plenty. Eh? No, I share something to the Real Fam. The question, I share them. Now they check now. Real Fam they don't chat go. But I found it. I told you guys that backstage is so interesting. You go laugh, tire. I love it. That's the kind of group I want, honestly, and that's why I give a lot of credit to all the people we have in the backstage. It's good to have matured people on a group. When you see their conversation, you can tell that people are respectful, they are just having fun. So anyway, that's by the way. So these are the questions I pen down for this conversation. If you want to join the conversation, if you want to call me through the phone line or you want to call me to the studio, these are what I want you to help us dissect. Number one, should grown men search for their father? Number two, should men be compelled to do DNA test by fire, by force? Number three, let me remove this. Simbi, before I remove this, let us go through our poll. Oh yeah, Simbi, can you see the poll or you don't
Okay,
go?
sir.
So from the poll, Luke said
Luke,
one. Go ahead.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the thing don't plenty.
Comfort.
Comfort, two.
Mr. Dio,
Yes.
two. Biba,
Mr.
two.
Dio, two. Biba, two.
Mm-hmm.
Misty, two, 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 two. Esther, two.
Shout out to my Esther. Esther Mama, how you doing? Let's go.
AJ, two.
Mm-hmm.
Cool Mama, two.
Two. Juliet, two.
Juliet, two.
My honey babe.
Two.
Oh, honey babe, what's up? Now my group then be that for backstage. Them honey babe and co. Now my group be that. Have you do bass both with them? All right, Miss Kendra too. Okay, so from all indication, it seems that everybody agreed that genotype cannot confirm paternity. So these are the questions I want you to help us address. Now, while I will share the while I share the link and the people who would like to call into the show, let me play just a little of the clip so that you guys know that this story is real. Please go and watch the full story on Abiola's page, Dr. Biola Adebayo. Please go and watch on her YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and drop comment, okay? I don't like playing people's video, but just to confirm that the story is real, take a listen.
Bother. You understand? But I was fine. He scaled me to school, shelter, everything. But that's not even the bone of contention.
Okay.
When I got to know, my mother now called me. She now narrated the whole story. So, this is the story.
Okay.
She said, sometime 1987, she was the secretary to Mr. Bassi,
Okay.
who happened to be my father, my biological father. Meanwhile, Mr. Bassi is a married man.
Okay.
Without a child.
All right.
And then they were dating, secretary and boss relationship. So along the line, she got pregnant for him.
For our boss.
Yes, for our boss.
Mm.
And then she said his wife is a wicked woman.
Okay.
That since she cannot give birth for what's it called, Mr. Bassi, that she doesn't want any other person to. So she mustn't find out. So this Mr. Bassi, meanwhile, as a child, before getting married to this, she said when he was in secondary school. So, but the mother is dead. The mother of the guy is dead. So, but he has a child, grown up. Then along the line, the Mr. Bassi told her to keep the pregnancy, that they should keep it secret.
Okay.
You understand?
They said AI would never understand humor, vlogs, sports, gaming, emotions.
So when she gave birth, the day she gave birth, he did the christening. That's why he named me Edith.
Okay.
He named me Edith. So after.
Is it from Cross River?
Yes, Akwa Ibom.
Okay.
His name is Ekpenyong Basi. Ekpenyong Kumbasi. So he along the line he usually send what's it called, his driver to for upkeep. He sends the driver to my mom for upkeeps to, you know, for the child. And so the same driver one day leak what's it called, the secrets to the wife that somebody is pregnant for, or somebody has a child for your husband. So that was where the whole thing scattered.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying now for my mom's narration.
Okay. Yes.
You understand?
What
she told me.
Good.
Because okay, what she told me, I eventually met the Mr. Bassi. He gave me a different
story entirely.
It's not entirely, like there is a kind of contradiction.
Okay. In the story.
That
the two of them told you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please go ahead.
All right. So when she knew about it, that's the wife. This same wife knows my mom.
All right. That's all I can take from the interview. Please go to Dr. Biola Adebayo channel to watch the full interview. I only played that to confirm to our real fam that it's a true life story. And because we're going to have this conversation now, there are people who truly are going through this dilemma as we speak. People who are struggling to find their father, both male and female. I know in the Western world, it's no big deal. People don't care. Women, especially here in the US, some women have children that they don't even know who is the father. You saw it on Paternity court every time. They don't know he's the father. And there are some men that are just impregnating women up and down. Is this same America? I've seen a guy who fathered 7 children. 7 children from 6 different women. So it's common here in the Western world. This issue of calling somebody a bar, I don't want to call him fully, a bar star is not a big deal here. It's just normal. But for we Africans, especially in the Western, I don't know, I think East is the same thing. South is almost the same thing. Knowing your dad is a big deal to everybody, both father, mother, everybody, especially women don't want to be in that loop where people will say, oh, don't mind her. She don't even know who got her pregnant. She was messing around. So if you are listening to this conversation, I need you to know that it is different for us African. Don't look at it as, well, it doesn't matter. Oh, no, he didn't have a dad. No worry, that is to us. It's a big deal. And that is why I kind of felt for that guy, because it's like you have no roots, nothing. And for those who don't know, many Africans that you come across, especially from Nigeria, their last name is usually family last name. It's not unique to their father. It's a whole clan last name. So imagine if you have children and your children can't trace your roots. So this go really, really deep. All right. I got Honey Babe in the building. For those who would like to call in, the number to call is 512-771-1036. Again, the number is 512-771-1036. If you live in places like Nigeria or outside US, you can call us on WhatsApp to give your 2 cents. And if you live in the US, you can call the number directly, or you can come into the studio. Let's get this conversation started. Honey Babe, what's up, my sister? How you doing?
Hey, Uncle Ben, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly well, my sister.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, because like I said, I do have empathy. But at the end of the day, what do you want to do? You can't force someone. Like I said, the alleged father is not interested. And I do understand you want to know where you came from. I do get what you're saying. But what can you do? Are they going to literally force? What they're going to do is they can only appeal to his nature. If at the end of the day he stands fast in his rejection and says, "I'm not doing a DNA test," what do you want to do? I think as much as we don't like the situation and having empathy, I'm
Mhm.
all about choices. If the alleged father refuses to do the DNA test, there's nothing this man can do. He's going to have to move on. And I'm not saying that out of lack of empathy, because personally for me, and I'm going to be quite honest, you know my history with my dad, and we're sorting things out based on, the history that I mentioned before. If there was a situation where my father denied me, I'm going to be quite honest, it's painful, and I would have to deal with it. But I'm not going to seek out someone that doesn't want to know me as his daughter. So I think as much as I have empathy, why are you looking for someone that is not looking for you? If someone, if an alleged father has, just because of a simple thing as, you don't have the same blood type or genotype, have decided to wash his hands of you and has denied you. Personally, for me, I would have to question, do I really want to look for a father that has abandoned me and doesn't want anything to do with me? And coming back to what you said in regards that as Africans, that it's a big deal about fathers. Is it not in Nigeria that they have the highest rate of paternity fraud? So I'm a bit confused about that. The honesty of knowing who the father of your child is very questionable. So it doesn't equate to me, because if it's such a case where, knowing the father of your child is such a big deal, why is there such dishonesty in regards to, paternity fraud? I personally think that if they can appeal to the father's nature, all well and good, but if he's steadfast in his decision, we have to respect the alleged father's decision. There's nothing you can do. I don't know, coming on the show, the thing is I'm all about trying to appeal to someone and, have conversations. But if you want to come onto a show and try to emotionally manipulate this gentleman, it may not work. And I think he needs to have that in the back of his mind, that he may still say no. Going on all these shows, going on news articles, that may not work. And I think he needs to get to a stage in life where his father has rejected him. Going on to the father, I don't quite understand how, this whole genotype, when they found out about the genotype, that was the perfect opportunity in that same hospital to do the DNA test. There should have been that conversation there and then. When he started acting crazy because of the genotype, why didn't all of them have the conversation, the alleged father and the mother? Let's have a DNA test there and then when those issues happened, rather than let it escalate until 20, 30 years later. That could have been resolved on the very day. So that's just something that I just want to put out there.
All right. Now, let's clarify a couple of things here.
Mm-hmm.
This happened in the genotype situation happened, I think, in 1988. The guy was, they had the guy in 1986. He's 36 years old now. So the genotype thing happened in 1988. Back then in Nigeria, DNA is nobody even talk about DNA. So let's just kind of like
If you say so.
clarify. So even when he mentioned genotype thing, in 1988, who talks about genotype at that time, Seth? Maybe because the dad is educated, probably the reason why the issue of genotype even came
He's
up.
not educated, because if he was educated, he would have realized that just because the genotype is one thing doesn't mean that the DNA is different. He's not educated. So let's just call a spade a spade. If he's educated, he would have had the common sense to know, based on the genotype, doesn't mean that this child is not my son. He's not educated.
It is what it is. And secondly, I think, look, I'm trying to figure out how to say this so I won't trigger people. Look,
say what you have to
women, women who are messing with a married man, you want to mess yourself up big time. And I will explain.
Okay, I don't argue with that. Fair point.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry. Just let me just kind of explain it, because the way I set up the studio on my roadcaster, I put my voice at the below. My voice is below everybody. So when I speak and people speak, my voice will just disappear. So it's the person on that the way I was even going to explain it to Simbi self. That's the way I set it up, because if I put my voice at the top when people speak, my voice will be overriding their voice. But because we have interactive panel, I usually put my voice all the way down. So what's going on for me is this. Women, when you are messing with a married man, you will be the one who will lose at the end of the day. If you are messing with the married man who don't have a happy home, it's a different ball game. You might be the trophy for him. But if a man has a happy home, happy wife, and the only problem is there is no baby. And according to the story, the man said at the point when they did test on him himself, they said his sperm is weak. So apparently he loves his wife. And it's because the mother, Edeth's mom, is working for him as secretary. That is why it was so convenient for them to have that affairs going on. Now, since the driver exposed what's going on to the man's wife, I think this man is already on the defensive. He is probably denying the boy or the son to his wife, his legal wife, that I don't have, he's not my son. Don't mind the woman. She just pinching him. Look, in Nigeria, I'm sorry, I don't want to throw Nigerian men under the bus, but some men in Nigeria, when they are messing with a woman, they won't see her as Ashawo. At that time, they won't say, oh, she's a HO or something. The moment the guy don't get belly, where wahala don't come, that is when they will come with all the rant, all these nonsensical words to describe the woman. So I felt that at that time when they did that genotype, the man is already looking for every excuse possible to deny the boy that is not his son. Now, if you also look at, I see a conversation going on between Misty and AJ in the comment, whereby the boy was like repeating verbatim what the mom said, that the mom said the man's wife is a wicked woman. And here is the thing. Every woman who is messing with a married man, we always have one thing to describe whatever is going on. I'm sorry, sisterhood. It is what it is. A woman that is messing with a married man knew exactly what she's doing. Now there is a son involved. The father is not taking responsibility. The whole thing is a mess. And now the boy is now an adult asking questions. Of course, the mom will come out with some terrible excuses to say this is why your father don't want to. It's because of that wicked wife of him. The wife is a witch. Again, I'll just go back to what I said earlier. If you are messing with a married man, you will be the loser. So whatever excuse the mother gave of everything, all those has already been defeated by the fact that she was married, she was messing with a married man. Now, let's come to paternity. And before we move on, Auntie Grace is in the studio. I will come back to you again, Honeybee, but let's have Auntie Grace take. Auntie Grace, what are your take on this, man?
Good evening, Uncle Ben.
Good evening, ma. How are you doing, ma?
Tired. Good evening, Honey Babe. Good evening, Cindy. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. I think what I wanted to say is exactly what you just explained. Messing around with a married man, you have to be ready for whatever consequences. And that has happened. And this son is not a child of yesterday. And this man continuously to deny him. If I were the boy, I would just have my peace. I know it's difficult to say, right? You can't force him to do the DNA. And on the other hand, I want to see him that if the child, you open your eyes to sleep with this woman because you were trying to experiment if you can actually impregnate a woman because you couldn't impregnate your wife, and this happened. There might be a lot of things going on in his head because they said his sperm is weak. If my sperm is weak, how come I was able to impregnate this woman? Mm-hmm. If he's actually like an educated person, like you said, Honey Babe also said, right?
Yeah.
That DNA would have been the right way to determine this. Because he's living in denial, he cannot accept it before the wife. But you knew your wife was there when you were doing it. You knew your wife was there when you were taking care of this boy from age 1 to 2, and eventually you decided it's not mine. How can you say DNA will determine that child, except if you want to tell me his SS? If it's SS and that boy comes up to be AA, it's like, where did he get the 2 A's? If it's AS and the woman is AS, there's every opportunity that that child will be AA. So he needed full education in that area, except if he said it's SS, then he can say it's not my child. If it's not SS, he has nothing to say. Genotype is what I'm using to determine if the child is mine or not. If he refuses to do the DNA, if the guy has people who will advise him, he should just live his life and forget about what has happened and then just get on with life. The mother made that mistake by getting along with somebody that was already married. If you think you so love your wife, your marriage is happy, I can't offend my wife, why did you go and mess up with innocent woman? Not innocent woman, another woman, because they both knew what they were doing. And this has happened. The boy, the man or whatever, should just learn how to get on with his life and live his life if the man refuses to do DNA. It could also be that the man is under spell. But if you are under spell from how many years, you can't rescue yourself. Well, I don't know what to say. The boy should go ahead and live his life. That's just all I can say about it, because there's a lot to it that we just can't unravel on our own. The man knows what he's doing. The mother knows what is going on. Unfortunately, is the guy that is just at the center. He needed an answer. It's simple DNA. Okay, let's do the DNA. I know where I'm coming from. You don't have to be my father, Afro. But if you refuse, you refuse. You can't force him. So it's unfortunate, just like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I think I really like what Sister Grace said. I'm of the opinion, like I said, you can't force anybody to do a DNA test. I just think that if you've come on the show, to get the reaction you want, and the alleged father is still holding fast that he doesn't want anything to do with you and refuses to do a DNA test, like Sister Grace said, move on with the rest of your life. Now, I'm of the opinion, because maybe it's not an African opinion, that this idea that blood is thicker than water, I don't agree with that. There's many, many people that are in blended families that are, have step families. And to me, they're actually better parents than biological parents. That's personally my opinion. Just because you gave birth to a child, whether you're the mother and the father, doesn't make you the best mother and father. There's plenty of evidence to say adopted parents, they have that relationship. So to hear, it's quite sad for him to say that he didn't have any relationship with his stepfather, because there's many, and I'm going to give
no. He had relationship with his stepfather.
There's many stepfathers out there that are doing a great job, where the so-called biological parent is nowhere to be seen. They have stepped into the gap. Yeah, they have stepped into the gap and done what they have to do. So I'm going to give props to those stepfathers. Like I said, this particular gentleman, the father doesn't want to know him, but he had a stepfather. And for me, the stepfather was there for him. He should appreciate that stepfather and move on. I stand by what I said, because like I said, there's evidence of, we hear stories all the time of biological mothers and fathers that are doing wicked and disgusting things to their biological children. So this assumption that because your blood makes you better than someone that adopted you or is a stepfather, I don't agree with that. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, this bias towards, us thicker than water, I don't buy it. Not everyone is equipped to be a parent, even if they've given birth.
All right, thank you very much.
Honey, babe, you know what?
Yeah, you want to reply?
I just wanted to say something. I said, sorry, we are here because we don't actually know the full story. As Africans, if you start digging into it and people who knows them, there will be some motive.
I definitely think there's motive, definitely, but I think I'm just on the same page as you, Sister Grace. You can't
Yeah.
force someone. If someone says, "I don't want to be your father," there's nothing you can do. You're sad.
Definitely. That is what I'm saying.
And you
That's
move
what I'm saying. Because that guy, the son, he was already there. Like he said, the stepfather step up, was responsible for his education and everything. And yes,
exactly.
maybe at some point he was rebellious. I have a father, you are not my father anyway. You are not
Exactly.
my
Which,
father
yeah,
anyway.
exactly. I
And
think,
at the
yeah,
All
end of
right.
the day, he's not doing well. And I'm supposed to be an only son of a wealthy man. I don't know how wealthy the other one is. You understand? That's why I say there are so many things attached to it, and we can't go into it.
yeah.
You
There's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of gaps that we don't
Yeah.
know.
All right.
On first,
All right. All right.
first impressions, I think the issue is that it's okay. I'll let you finish. Sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I will leave you because there are a lot of things that we cannot understand. You understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we will walk around it, Auntie Grace. Just hold on, man. We have Mr. Emeka in the studio. Mr. Uncle Emeka. How are you doing, sir? Let me can you hear me, Uncle Emeka? How are you? Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear
Uh,
you. Yeah, I can hear you. Actually, I'm just now joining live. I've been driving, so I just got home.
oh,
So
yeah, we
let
have
me
this
let me let
DNA
me let me
situation going.
pause. Let me pause.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
let
playing
me pause
something
on
in the
my
background?
comment. For now, all
Okay.
I know, all I know is
Mhm.
that I don't know why it's echoing in the background, but my own personal being, I don't think I will ever reject, any child that I raised. Like I have two kids now. And if for any reason they come and tell me they are not my kids, my love for them will not stop. It just will not stop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We're just going to answer a couple of questions. It's a DNA situation. A 36 years old boy wanted his alleged father to do DNA just to confirm his identity, and this happens all the time. So that's just what we are looking at. We're just trying to unravel some circumstances surrounding the conversation. So far you are here, you will still get around to this. Thank you. But it's good to have you on the show, Okwemeka. our real farmer MD. Thank you, sir. And thank you for all the super chats, sir. God bless you so much, sir.
You're welcome,
All right.
Mr. Emeka. Good evening.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Hope you're doing good.
Thank you. For some reason, I'm having an echo. I don't know if it's because I'm
You are
calling in from my
probably
laptop.
playing. Yeah, it's YouTube on your laptop. If the YouTube is on, you just have to like mute the YouTube, then your voice will be clear. So that echo you are hearing, we don't hear it. So I think it's
Okay.
probably your system. Yeah, just mute YouTube in case you are watching the show on YouTube. All right. Let's quickly move
Okay.
to Uncle Dayo. Uncle Dayo.
Let me take this opportunity to greet Honey Babe, who in another channel is known as the accountability prefect. Let me
Oh,
Hello,
also
thank you
greet
very
the
much.
CB and Grace and Daya. I greet you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Good to see
Hi,
you.
Mr. Emeka. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, guys.
yeah. Simbi,
Thank you,
that your
CB.
voice sound too sweet. Take your time, Simbi. I don't want you, Simbi. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Emeka. It's a pleasure to have you here. Mr. Dayo.
You are owing CB an ice cream. She has been.
Yes, so I'm buying the ice cream. Much done the head now. I go buy the ice cream, sir. Uncle Emeka give us super chat. But he say, Ben, you have to buy CB ice cream. Simbi, I've always wanted this ice cream.
Thank you, sir.
Uh, See you, Simbi. Anyway, Mr. Dayo, what's your
Yes,
take on
sir.
this right here? This paternity thing, how it be, sir?
First off, I would be talking from my experience because I happen to be raised by a stepfather I did not, my father did not accept me as conception. But my mother has always been telling me ever since I grew to know my right hand from my left hand. She's always told me that, see, this is your father, but somehow, the man refused my pregnancy. So my stepfather was the one that actually raised me. And even till now, none of my stepfather's children knew that it was not my biological father. None of them, because of the love, because of the relationship, and because of what really transpired between us. Now, the thing is that when I heard this guy's testimony, I felt for the guy, but it just made me feel so bad because this is the reason why some men will say they can never raise or marry a single mom with children because they say they can never raise another man's child. Because this to me comes back on the good stepfathers that have been doing everything. They married the mother, they take care of the child. Only at the end of the whole thing, the child that they did everything for will not see them as his own father. They are not trying to claim to be father of the child, but they're just stepping in for a man that has refused to play his role. They're just stepping in. But at least the least the guy can do is to appreciate them for being there for him. As I'm talking to you now, my stepdad died while I was married for.
Uncle Dayo, somebody, they make noise for your background, Uncle Dayo.
Yes, I'm sorry, Jerry. I'm in a public place, so I am going to step aside.
Okay. Nigerians, see the way the man voice loud for
I
background.
know. I was just like, what's going on?
Yes, no worry.
Sorry, please.
No problem, sir.
As I was saying, the man took care of me when my father refused me, and the man did a lot of things in my life, sent me to school and all. But he died while I was primary 4. So my mother raised me as a single mom. And I really appreciate it. I'm still bearing the man's name till tomorrow. I even gave the name to my children. Meanwhile, my own biological father, after I became a man, he came looking for me, or I went looking for him. Either way, we met. So he actually apologized and all. I forgive him. And I thank God that I took care of him until he passed. Even my children on that side also, they grew up to respect me, and they grew up to love me. And we are one family. What I'm saying is that for this particular young man that is looking for his father at 36 years old, I felt his pain. Every child needs that father connection. But he must not forget that if he was lucky to have gotten a man who stepped in, raised him up, sent him to school, took care of him, when his father blatantly denied him. Whatever it is, connection or no connection, you're supposed to have given that man his flowers. That man was there for you, and your father was not. Coming to say you are having issue with the man, issues cannot be overruled. But the truth of the matter is just that you have to learn. You are not an adult. You have to understand from which perspective it is coming from. If the man had done the way most men would have done that, oh, they cannot raise another people's child, where will he have been today? He's a master degree holder today. I want to believe it's courtesy of this stepfather. So all these things matters. Now, coming to the issue itself, I believe DNA should be the best way to confirm paternity of a child. If the man wants to do the right thing, instead of doing blood group, genotype, blah, 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 to me, better go for DNA. DNA is available. Even that time, DNA was available because the man, according to the story, he said he doesn't have the money to do it. So both of them decided, okay, let us fund it together. Still, the man said they get back to him. To me, I think he was shying away from it. Because if you are really sincere, you want to know the truth, do the DNA and let the matter rest. So to me, the whole story just bring back a lot of nostalgic feeling in me. And I feel so bad for the stepfather. I feel so bad for the guy also. And I was like, that's why I cannot outrightly blame men that says they cannot take care of other people's child. But to me, that's not the way to go. We should see every child as our child and treat them as such. Because I'm a beneficiary of such. Thank you.
Mr. Dayo.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Stepfather should the respect, get the respect that they're willing to take on a child that's not biologically theirs. And I think, like Brother Dial said it very well from his own experience, that if that they should get their flowers. And I think this gentleman, as much as yes, he wants to find his father, he should he should appreciate the fact that this the stepfather brought him to where he is today. Yes, he's financially strained and struggling, but if he wasn't for the stepfather, where would he have been? And I think, for me, it's the sheer audacity to dismiss someone. I know there's issues with stepdad, but there's great stepdads out there. We don't know the full story. He could have been a great stepdad, but this gentleman still wants to, wants to find his biological dad. I just think that, personally, for me, if someone doesn't, I've got my dad, I've got a stepdad recently, and I appreciate my stepdad, and I'm not close to my dad, even though I'm working towards building that relationship. But I'm going to be honest, I have a better relationship with my stepdad than my biological dad. And whose fault is it? My biological dad's fault. Obviously, I'm trying to mend it, but I'm just being real here. That at the end of the day, I do appreciate my stepdad for everything that he does for me. And I'm going to give him his flowers. Even though, yes, I have a biological dad, but because of mistakes he has made, and I've been very vocal on this channel about it, he has fractured our relationship, and I'm not as close to my biological dad. And that's the fault of my dad.
All right. Thank you, honey babe, for sharing with us. Uncle Dio, thank you very much for sharing with us too. I don't know, that's why I said it from the beginning that this is a very, very critical conversation. Is very sensitive because I know many people are actually living the life now. All right. Uncle Emeka, I can hear some feedback from your end. I know it's like you are listening from YouTube. That's why I mute you. But when it is time for you to contribute, just mute the player so that the background noise will not be interfering with your thoughts, sir. All right. Thank you. Misty, I see you are in the studio. What's up, Misty?
Hi, my lovely brother. How are you?
I have to arrest you, Misty. I don't know whatever you guys are dragging in the backstage, but you guys, that conversation is beyond me. I was just laughing like, I don't know what you guys are doing. But anyway, Misty, this paternity issue, thank God, you are one of the great legamites we have here. I have a couple of questions. I will get your take, but I have a couple of questions that maybe you can help me explain the legal aspect of it. And that question, I put it on the screen earlier. Where is it? Well, I think I have it. It's going on right now on the poll. Should men be compelled to do DNA tests? Because honestly speaking, if I'm in the shoe of this guy, I will arrest that papa. Make I so my own just be. I go arrest him. I go disturb him where. In a society like Nigeria, you can't be my father, suspected dad, and you are not ready to do DNA. I will take you to court. I will somehow get the judge will look into it. You must do the DNA. It's a question of yes or no. Are you my father? Even when it is confirmed you are my father, if you don't want to have any relationship with me, go ahead and live your life. But for those who may not understand, this issue of not knowing your dad is a big deal in our society in Nigeria. When they call somebody bastard, na big deal. Like some people can unlife themselves just for them to be walking around and people are looking at you. You know, man, know your papa. You where your man, they sleep around. You know, even know give am belle. It's a big deal. So if not me, I can get that man arrested, take him to court. You will do the DNA by fire by force. So far, you are part of the story. Don't tell me any cock and bull story. You slept with my mom. Yes, my mom was stupid enough to be messing with a married man, but yet she did not give herself belly. Let's do the DNA. If the DNA confirmed that you are not my father, fine. But what from legal perspective, what do you think, Misty, please?
So for starters, I want to welcome Uncle Mecca into the real fam. I had to expand my screen to actually look at our own RMD in the house.
Oh, let me show you. We got Uncle Emeka in there.
I had to
Misty,
expand
you're
my
a
screen to
troublemaker.
see. I had to expand my screen, come on the laptop to see her on
Thank you, Misty. We appreciate you. Thank you.
empty here.
Uh,
But
uh,
yeah,
go
CB,
ahead,
CB,
Jerry, my
I'm not
sister.
fighting with you here. We're good, sis. So Uncle
You,
Mecca, you're welcome. Honey baby, it's good to see you. Auntie Grace, it's
Hey.
good to see you. Welcome back from Macron's land. You must have left all our money there. I don't know. You were on vacation in France for like 2 weeks. I don't think my account is good with you. And Uncle Dario, you have such a compelling story. I feel like you need to tell us that story on a day when you're in a good environment where it's quiet and you can share your story. I feel like we really need to listen to your story in depth. It could help some people. And then there's that generation of kids who are, I'm calling them kids because they're, you're still a kid in your parents' eye. The kids who are in their 40s, 50s, and maybe late 30s. I feel like a lot of our parents messed around with the ladies. They messed around with their bosses, and there are so many children who are conceived out of wedlock because their moms had relationships with their bosses, and that's abuse of like that position, you being in a position of authority and having a relationship with your secretary. But this is real life situation, and these things happened. I know children who were born from such relationships, who went to school with them, and some of them ended up marrying the men. And so we know this thing. It's a common thing. It's not even a Nigerian thing. It's a very common thing in Africa. It has happened in many African nations. But because the population of Nigeria is very large, so it's louder when it happens in Nigeria, right? So yeah, it's good to be here. CB, thank you for having me. Regarding your question, Uncle Beno, you haven't even given me the time to speak about this gentleman, but you asked the question whether parents, you said the father should be compelled.
You say what? Yeah, I'm saying should father be compelled legally to do DNA test, especially when paternity is in question and in doubt.
So when you say should, that is a recommendation, which is not something that can really be enforced. Mandatory is different.
Let me put it this way. Father must be compelled. Must be compelled. How about that? Is that must okay?
In my opinion, when you say must, that is mandatory. I think it's very important, not just the father. I feel like if I were in a jurisdiction where there's reformation of the law, a DNA, in my opinion, should be conducted at the point of birth. So that it's at that point where whether that's your father and that's your mother, and you have it documented at that point. If your mother messed around, you would know that's not your father. This would be very fair to the child and all the parties involved. I feel like it's very unfair for a child not to know their father, and then they get to know their father later in their adult life, and they've missed so much of what could have happened between the father and the child. Because I know some mothers will not even tell the man that they were pregnant by them. Some of them will never say it. They may never disclose it. And so you may not know until the mother is at the point of passing away, and then she feels like she needs to make her dying wishes and confessions. That's when she's going to declare and tell the children or the child that, listen, the person who you think is your father is not actually your father. So and so is your father. Sometimes you're lucky if you're told. Sometimes you may never know. So in my opinion, and to answer your question, I strongly believe DNA should be done at the point of birth. If for instance, in this case, the man is being difficult, he's refusing to go to do the DNA, there should be, if I had my way, I think go to court and then he should be compelled to take a DNA test, and that should resolve the issue. Because if he took the DNA test, it would resolve everything. This poor boy would know whether this is his father or not. Why is he being difficult and refusing to take the DNA? Of course, you cannot force him to do the DNA, but if there's a law in place that could compel him to do it, that would be good. Mentally, this boy is consumed. It's easier said than done. Some people, if they know they have been rejected by a parent, a father, they can walk away and make something good of their lives. Some people cannot. They don't have the mental fortitude to do that. And it disturbs their lives so bad that they can't move on. In the African culture, it's even more difficult, especially if you're a boy child and there are issues of inheritance involved. You could be a stepchild and you are a boy. And so if your stepfather is passing, members of that clan or that community or the tribe or whatever you are in, they may not feel comfortable for you to inherit property from that clan. In other societies, they would be okay with it, depending on, again, if, for instance, that child did very well and he's highly achieved, he's probably, a professional in the African eye, he's an engineer, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, then they are happy that, this is now their son. They will claim you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you didn't really do so well, and you want to inherit property, then they will not want anything to do with you. So this is possibly why, one, this man really wants to know his biological father. That is one. I'm speculating, but it's a common thing in the African community. Secondly, he's not settled. He's gone through it. He's been called names that, he's fatherless or whatever. And so now he may want to know his biological father for the sake of that fulfillment. He may not even be having issues with his stepfather, but he wants to know. He just wants to know his roots, where he belongs, where he comes from. It's a thirst that you cannot just walk away from. His stepfather may be an amazing man, but he's asking himself questions because he wants to know, where does he come from? So you cannot just tell him just walk away and forget. But although at the end of the day, it may be the logical thing for him to do, because this alleged father is refusing to do what? To take the DNA test. Like Auntie Grace and Honey Babe already said, you cannot really force him. But if there was a law in place and there's a court order, like here in the diaspora, there are court orders that would demand that you go and take a DNA, you would do it. I don't think we are there yet. We're not ready for that in Africa. We are thinking about food and how to live on a day-to-day basis, So we are still a bit far. But I can tell you for sure, in some jurisdictions in the diaspora, if you got involved with a person, even if you found a child already in existence, the law would, and then you were in that child's life, you're involved in, the child's day-to-day life, school, activities, sports, everything, doing homework. So you have been taking care of this child like your own. The law demands that you continue to do that because you're looked at as the father of that child. So you cannot walk away from it.
What if the bond is not really there?
It doesn't matter.
What if the bond
you may not be having that bond, but you have to provide the basics that a child will need.
Yeah, of course I know.
Because you were before acting like the father of this child, and the community saw you were doing things like this is your own child. So for instance, in Canada, in Ontario specifically, the law will demand that you continue to act as the father of that child. You cannot just fracture that relationship with the child, because the law is trying to protect the best interest of the child.
Absolutely. All right. Misty, thank you, my sister. Oh, once we start having great conversation like this, the time will be flying. All right, I'm going to start rounding up now by getting round to my panel, and we're going to be answering this question as I round up. I have just like 15 minutes to do that. I'm coming back to you, Uncle Emeka. Let's get your take on these questions I have on the screen, sir. Uncle Emeka, can you hear me, sir? Let me unmute you. Okay, can you hear me, sir?
You cannot
Uncle Emeka. Hello, sir. Uncle Emeka, are you trying to mute your device? I can hear everything, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me, sir? Oh, it's like Uncle Emeka has muted me. Oh. All right. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Uncle
Okay,
Ben, put him on the big screen. Maybe that will help.
you just talk. Say you won't see his face. May you? There you go. Uncle Emeka, can you hear me?
Uncle Emeka, can you? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I was just typing something, and just before I'm about to post it.
Okay. Just you can pause the YouTube or mute it. But let me get your take on this one, sir. As I'm about to round up, so we're just giving our take. But
I was about to say and give an example.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I have a childhood friend, and the family that he grew up, his last name, everything, the dad that he thought was his dad was not actually his dad. He discovered his real dad, I believe, at the age of 22, because we were already in college when he discovered his dad.
Let me get your take on this one, sir. Go ahead. You are still listening on your device.
Okay, and
yeah, go ahead.
When he discovered his dad, the moment he took one look at that man, and the man asked him, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "I think you're my dad. You're my real dad." To cut the story short, today as we speak, this guy has to go back because he's from Onitsha, but his real dad was from Ogoja. And he had to go back and relearn the language, everything, the local language. Today, as we speak, he's the traditional ruler of that community.
Wow.
Yes. They did not do any DNA test. The only thing is that the moment, and the man came to the university to look for him, and then traveled back with him to Onitsha. And the moment the mother saw him, says, "Is that my dad?" She said, "Yes." And that he left their household that day and moved back with the man. But like I said, to cut a long story short, he is so rich right now that the dad that raised him up till he's 20 is supporting that family. My this DNA thing, is it's a new thing. Our generation. I'm talking about my age group growing up. We didn't. I don't think it existed. It became more rampant when people started to come over here, and the embassies started asking for DNA, and then people started realizing that they thought were theirs was not actually theirs. I know it can be very heartbreaking, but like I stated earlier, I don't doubt my children, but if for any reason they come and, somebody come and we do a DNA and it's not mine. I think it's too late for me to start denying. One is 34, the other one is 26. Deny for what? I've trained them, I've raised them. They are all responsible citizens, So, and this particular case, I don't know why it happened. I honestly don't know why it happened, and I think they handled it poorly. That's my take on that.
All right. Let's answer this question, Uncle Emeka. I'm gonna start with you. My brother Chucks from UK. Shout out, bro. I see your comment. Let me see if I can highlight it again. I was laughing looking at that comment, Chucks. Sorry, before I come to the question. Chucks said, Timby, can you read what Chuck said? So Chuck said, here's my problem with DNA testing. All right, go ahead and read it, Simbi.
Okay. Chat is saying, here's my problem with DNA testing. A man raised a kid and later finds out he's not the father, but his signed documents will not allow him as he is the father.
Yes, so that was when Misty was talking about once legally, if you raise a child and there are documents backing it up that you are a father, even if it turns out your DNA says you are not, you are still responsible for the baby. I think that's what Chuck is saying. Shout out to you, my brother Chucky. It's a pleasure to have you here, bro. Me personally, I have some reservation around this stepfather thing, but I don't want to go there, make it no start bars bros. But honestly speaking, I have some reservation around it. But let me just have my guest speak because of my time. Uncle Emeka, starting with you, I have 3 questions. Just each one of them, help me go through it. The first one is, should grown men search for their father? Because I've seen this so many times, not just men, even women. And we even see them on some shows, but in real life, it's happening. Some grown men are still trying to locate and find their father. So, should they, I don't know, should they do that? That's my first question. And the second question, should men be compelled to do DNA test? I think we've answered this already, but Uncle Emeka, I would still like to hear your own. And lastly, how should stepdad receive the news of children finding their biological father as adults? Over to you, sir.
Okay. I will actually give you a personal example.
All right, sir.
My grandfather, that is my mom's dad. We've never met him, but he's from Scotland. And then just last month, believe it or not, my sister sent something to me in text saying, I think she went to this ancestry.com trying to find out exactly where the man came from. And she had some information, even though the man is deceased, but she was able to trace whichever county or village the man came from. And I was asking her, I said, what am I doing with this information? That's my granddad. He passed away. I didn't even meet him, so to tell you. So the man probably passed away more than 60 years ago. But my sister said, well, it is always good to know your genealogy, So
absolutely.
Answering your question of whether should grown men search for their father, I think it depends on, number one, how old are you? Number two, what are you really looking for? Are you, if somebody is very young, yeah, maybe, but at my age, it's not going to change anything for me because I've lived my life, and other than for my children to know that their grandfather is from Scotland, it's not going to really do anything for me. So then should men be compelled to do DNA tests? once again, it depends on the situation. If I'll use myself as an example, if paternity is in question, I will definitely do it, but it's not going to change my feelings or love that I have for the children that I raised.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if that answers your question or how the real farm is.
Yeah. So
I'm a very liberal person, and I'm old school, but I'm not old fashioned. So that's
I
just the
know.
difference.
I know, sir. Thank you. So you said, should men be compelled to do DNA tests? You say yes, men can do it. It doesn't change how they feel, and I absolutely agree with that. Just do it. Let us know what's up. Okay. Then number 3, how should stepdad receive the news of children finding their biological father as adult? I think you answered that already. That if
Yes.
children went to find their father, it really doesn't change how you feel towards them. And that is commendable, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much, Uncle Emeka. In fact, it's good to have you on the show. I like.
Okay, let me just add one more thing. When I
Yes,
asked
sir.
my sister, I said, "What are you going to do with this information?" And she told me, said, "Can you imagine during the Civil War? Because during the Civil War, all people that have relations or ties with UK, they were evacuated." She's like, maybe we wouldn't have gone through what we went through during the Biafra War. That we would have probably have a different life right now. So that was just the only reason. She says, "I don't like the way Nigeria is going." So, I'm just trying to throw some humor in the whole
I
thing.
know. I know. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. God bless you, sir. Man, I love us here in Real Farm. We are doing a very amazing job. All right, let me come to Auntie Grace. Auntie Grace, the same 3 questions. Should grown men search for their father? Should men be compelled to do DNA test? How should stepdad receive the news of children finding their biological father as adults? Me, I will not be happy. But Auntie Grace, over to you, man.
I think everybody deserves to know where they are from, especially if it has gotten to the stage where you have been mocked, you have been called names, and everybody deserves to know whether your parents are poor, your root. Everybody deserves to know where they are from. If you have checked, like in this case, that what I said earlier, your mom have told you this is your father. You have actually reached out to him. He's still continuously telling you he's not. And you have a stepfather who raised you. And you are now a man old enough to be a father of children. I think you should be able to continue to live your life if you are able to. But there's nothing wrong you wanting to know where you come from, where you belong. It's good for everybody to know where they are from. And should somebody be compelled to do a DNA test?
Yes.
You can't force somebody to do a DNA test if they don't want to.
Legally,
but if in a society, yes, if in a society where things work and you can take it legally, why not? Take it to court, let it be done with, so that everybody knows where they stand. Yeah, you are my father, you don't want to be, good luck, go ahead and live your life. You can take it to court legally, they should be compelled to do it where law exists.
Absolutely.
And what's the third question?
How should stepdad receive the news of children finding their biological father as adults?
Well, I don't know what is happening in Africa. Where we are, it happens all the time. With the support of maybe adopted father or adopted parents, they look for their biological father. It doesn't stop that love between the adopted parents and the biological, if eventually they found them. They give them all the support to find. Why not? It doesn't stop you. You brought them up. They just want to know their root. You shouldn't change that relationship you have with them. Continue
I
to
think
love them, support them to find whoever they want to find. But it depends. Like in Africa, it might not be happening the way it's happening in the Western world. Like maybe that child become rebellious. You are not my father. You are not this. And whoever, that step parent who brought them up, they feel disappointed. Everything that I have done for you, this is how you paying me. But if it's also another parent who really understand, they could also still help them to find that biological father or biological parents in love and continue to love them. I don't think it should change how you feel about them, except the circumstances, how the one looking for their parents present it. You might feel betrayed.
okay. I think I'm gonna bring this particular number 3 back, and we are going to discuss it in love and with maturity. It's a
Yeah.
very, very delicate topic, but I think we can handle it. There is nothing wrong, but I will give my take because of my time. Thank you, Auntie Grace. Thank you, Uncle Emeka. I may have to start dropping you guys because of my time. But Honey Babe, your final take I think Honey Babe, I've answered all these questions, but
No, I've not answered anything. I've not answered these
okay.
questions.
All right. So I will leave you. Uncle Emeka, I will drop you now. Auntie Grace, I will drop you. Thank you for spending time with us and at least lending us your wisdom as usual. It's not easy, but we really appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
God
you.
bless
Thank
Appreciate
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.
Say bye-bye to Uncle Emeka in Russian language, Simbi. Yeah,
I'm
again.
still here. I'm still here. Well, just mute me.
No wahala, sir. All right. So, Honey Babe, your final take.
I
The
think
3 questions real quick.
yeah. Question number 1: should grown men search for their father? I think it's a personal choice. It's on a case-by-case basis. Some people, as Uncle Mecca said, they're grown up. You get to a certain age. Why do I need to know about my Scottish grandfather, using his example? Another person really is going through stuff and wants to know his roots. So I think it's on a case-by-case basis. If an individual decides that he wants to search for his father, then search for your father. In regards to question number 2, should men be compelled to do a DNA test? I'm of the opinion about choices. You can't force someone to do what they don't want to do. My thing is that if you are adamant that you need to know who the father of your child, who the father of your child is, or you as the child wants to know who your father is, then find a wad of money and go to court. Go through the legal process. And then obviously, hopefully you should get the result you want, and you force that gentleman to do a DNA test. Let it go through the legal routes. You can't compel someone just on the fact that you deserve to know who your father is. Go through the legal route. In regards to number 3, it's about having empathy, because I'm of the opinion that if you have a stepfather, a great stepfather, and he's brought you up to a certain age, if you now decide, there's nothing wrong with you deciding that you want to look for your biological biological father in this particular example, but is having sensitivity and having compassion. You can have a conversation that, I know that you've been there for me, but I really want to seek out my biological father. It's about having empathy. If that's how I would say it. If it was me, I would do that. Now, in occasions where there is friction and you're having issues with your stepfather, I still think you owe him that respect, because he's been in the gap that your biological father hasn't been. And even if you have issues, because I have issues with my biological dad, so let's stop the cap. Even with biological parents, we have issues, but we still show that same respect. You would have a conversation with your stepfather about wanting to see your find out about your biological father. It's about getting their blessing. It's about putting them in the narrative and carrying them along in regards to looking for your biological parents or biological father in this case. And most of the times, if they are the stepfather that they should be, they will be happy to even help you on that journey, help you to find your biological father. So that's what I'm all about. So yes, even if there's friction, between you as a stepfather, you owe them that respect because they've stood in the position of being the father figurehead that you never had. And suddenly you now want to look for your biological father. No shade to that. That's your choice, but give them that respect by carrying them along in that process to look for your biological father.
Okay, thank you, honey babe. That's a very fantastic take. I'm gonna bring the number 3 question back. I know it's gonna be a bad boost because I have my reservation around that particular number 3, and I think I agree with how you put it, but some of us might see it differently too. I think for me, you searching for your biological father as an adult, you got to my heart dear.
Yeah, but it's their choice. It's their choice.
Yeah, it's their choice. And that's why I said I'm gonna bring it back so that the people who might have reservation just like me, we can look at it together. Because if your mom brought you into my house, age 5, age 7, age 2, whatever, and take care of you all the way, go to the university, you are now grow everything, or maybe take care of you till you are age 18, or maybe you are 20 or something, and suddenly, because I got to find my dad. I think children just hold on, babe. Children have to be very, very careful how they approach it, because to me, that is a slap. I bear all this while I do everything finish. Now that you think you are now balanced, you stand, you are now on this journey. I have to find my dad. Anybody who wanted to do that, you got to be extremely careful. And because for me, if the way you are going about it is sending some signal, I will tell your mom, this is me as an African person, I won't lie to you. It's me personally. If the way you are going about it is becoming so overwhelming, you are so into it, I got to find my dad. They say he's in Lagos. Oh, they say he's in London. I got to go look for him. I will tell your mom, I pray you find your dad. When you find your dad, don't even come near where I am. You are no longer welcome in my house, depending on how you go about it. If the energy is given that, oh, this your father is an angel somewhere, an angel that wasn't there all the time when you are struggling, you are suffering, you are doing everything. I was there stepping, doing everything. And now the energy is, this father should be one angel. I got to go find my dad. He's still my biological dad. Is it? I'm not going to fight you. I will say, go and find him. I pray you find him. But I will face your mom. Babe, when this guy go, I pray he find papa, girl or boy. Once he find that papa, I thank God we've done a good job. He's now grown. He's no longer welcome in my house. You are the mom. And we are together. If he has to come around my house at all, let me know when he's coming. Either I leave the house or both of you go and meet somewhere. That's just it. So please, I'm saying that standing in for men who have been mistreated somehow by their stepdad. Because when I watched that interview, we moderators, we do a lot of things that people don't see coming. At a point, Dr. Abiola have to stylishly redirected that man to say one or two things about the stepdad to correct the impression he gave earlier. So, as much as I fed for him and everything, but when he was talking about the stepdad, we don't get along, the man don't do this, the man don't do that. You can't give me that. You do that, you give me that energy after all I've done. This is just me. I won't fight you. Thank God I raised you right. When you go, you are going to establish bond without your father. You will go there, do everything without your father. You are no longer welcome in my space. So I put it very harsh. Thank you, Uncle Emeka, for observing that. I said it very harsh so that anyone who might come across this video, and your stepfather has always been there. even though you don't get along, like Honey Babe said, even we that we are raising our children ourselves, we don't get along. Me and my daughter, we don't do hide and seek for almost 3 days now, just because we don't agree on something. It happens. So if you and your stepfather doesn't get along at some point in time, that is what happened. It can happen between you and your, in fact, it is worst when it comes to you and your biological father. Sometimes your stepfather will give you grace. You will get away with some shit. Your biological father, forget that shit. Oh, if na coconut head like me, he won't give you grace. Your stepfather won't give you grace. I mean, your biological father won't give you grace. So I said it very harsh, so that when you hear this, check yourself. If you are in that relationship where a man stepped in, when you are small, you are a nobody. He stepped in, he loved your mom, he loves you dearly, played the role of a father, did everything possible. And maybe because of, once you become a teenager, you people are having clash, both till you become adult, you now have some little resentment or something. You are now having this feeling that we don't get along, maybe because he's not my biological father. And now you want to start back on that journey that I got to go find my father. He's my biological father. Listen, some men like me, if you give me that energy, I will tell your mom. I won't tell you, self. I just tell your mom, once this Peking go find him, Papa, he's not coming back to my house. And I will say it to your face so that you will feel the pain too. For you to know that for the 18, 20, 25 years we were together, me doing everything, you growing up, giving you this fantastic life that you've been to the college, university, for you to now start saying, my father, my father, my father, I will give you that ultimatum. When you go, don't come back. I don't care. I will just say, I give up whatever I spend on you. After all, thank God for people with the Western world. I don't cook man need you. Children know they take care of parents for Western world, except for those we get compassion. Now then they take care of their parents. Majority of them, they just leave parents, go deal with your retirement for working and all that. So please, if it's harsh, the way you hear it from me now, know that when you want to embark on that journey that I'm going to find my biological father, know that somebody might be feeling the pain. The same applies to children who are raised single-handedly by a mom. Your mom sacrificed everything she can do. She raised you and your brother, or you and your sister. You people go to college. Everything your mom was supposed to do, she put it on hold. Now that you are grown, that maybe you are working, you're not graduate. You're not, Mom, I gotta go find my dad. I have to find my dad. My dad. Your mom, she loves you. She might not tell you how she's feeling, but there is a way you will be saying that my dad. It will be reminding your mom all the sleepless night, all the pain, all the hard job, all the rainy season, sunny season that your mom had been through. I'm saying it very harsh now as an uncle for you to have a rethink. It's good you go find your father, but ask yourself, how do I present this thing to my mom? How do I present this thing to my stepdad? Is it going to come across like me being ungrateful? Will it hurt them emotionally? So think deeply, think about it before you just say, I'm now grown, I can make my own decision. That's my take. Misty, let's hear your final take so that we can all live here.
Okay.
Is Misty still there now?
I'm here.
So,
I'm here.
the 3 questions. Your final take, ma.
Number 1, should grown men search for their fathers?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a personal decision you can make depending on, like Uncle Emeka mentioned, what age are you at? What are you looking for? But generally, people look for their fathers because they want to find closure. They want to, like I mentioned before, they want to know their roots, where they come from. So it's just for the sake of closure. For somebody who is younger, it may be more than that. They may want him to take accountability about how they came into being and where they should be going, right? But for somebody like Uncle Emeka said, somebody who is in their 60, 70, what the heck, like he's almost crossing over, it doesn't really care much, he's like, it is what it is. question number 2. I think I pretty much talked about number 2 already in
Yeah,
detail,
you
right?
did.
Number
So,
3.
and I think your take on number 2 is yes, that can be done legally. A son can sue the father or daughter can sue the father that I need to get this paternity. I want to know if you are my dad or not, especially when the man have admitted that he mess around with your mom. So
Yeah, in the
I just wanted
diaspora,
to
that is
remember.
important, especially for the sake of paying for
Yeah,
child support. They do a lot of that for the sake of child support. But as you know, in Africa, we are still very far from that. And, we're still far from that. It's not really something that is going to be enforced. And my recommendation as to number 2, I would prefer that a DNA is done at the point of birth so that every party knows their position. The father knows whether he's the actual biological father or not. The child knows whether that's their father or not. Yeah, I think that's my position. Number 3, how should stepdads receive the news of children
children finding their
finding?
biological father as adults.
I feel like that's very personal as well. However, if you are out of the house and you are independent working and you got to learn about your biological dad, the first person I would recommend you speak to is your mother. Have a conversation with your mother and find out, verify the information, and then it's at that point in time where you could possibly go with your mom, because now at least you have some information, right? You have the background to whether that's actually you found your biological dad, an absentee dad, and so now you have to present it before your stepdad. And I think it's not easy, especially for a stepdad who didn't know. If he didn't know that this was not his child, then that is a very big issue. You may actually need an adult who is like somebody who could be there to, in case things don't go well, if it's just his wife and the child, because you cannot determine how people react. You're telling them this is not their child. 25 years later, they're investing in the child emotionally, like in every aspect, right? You cannot determine how they are going to react. So it's best if you know the person very well, and you may determine if you need a third party to be there just in case things don't go well, right?
In some cases, shout out to Man of Prestige, Sister Chinye and Sister Marriott. You're welcome. MOP Baba, I don't know. So in this case, Misty, I'm just painting a scenario whereby both husband and wife knows the husband is not the father of the child. But like in the case of the guy we analyzed today, the Edet situation, Edet was the one who was just 2 years old at the time, who is not aware, but both father and mother knows. So now stepdad knows that this boy is not my son or this girl is not my daughter, but he stands in and he raised them, sent them to school, everything. Now those kids are now adults.
Right.
And they are now like, I want to go find my biological father, just like the case of Edet. That's what I'm saying. That how should
I was coming to that. I was coming to that.
All
And I
right.
have a personal story actually to share. I have an uncle, very prominent doctor. I heard he married, I call her auntie, married his wife, and she came into the marriage with a son. He accepted the son. He put everything. The boy was raised privileged. He had everything. At 16, he was driving. He went to some of the best schools that they could afford and everything. When this boy later, so his bio absentee father wasn't in his life at all. Separated with his mother when he was just born. Didn't care. When this boy was about 30 something, was getting married, he now started to trace his roots, went to discover his biological father. They reconciled, and he started showering this guy with everything, bought him a car, built him a house. Basically, the stepfather he heard, he just like threw him away. So the uncle I talk about, he's a doctor. It's not like he lacked, but the pain of how he was treated. Again, approach is very important. These are very sensitive issues because the stepdad invested in him in every way, like his own child. So the way you move from that point to reconciling with your father and discarding your stepdad who actually took you in as your own father is very important. It can break, or in most cases the relationship is destroyed. To summarize everything, that marriage ended, it led to a divorce, and it was just nasty. So it's very important how you need to show gratitude. We need, and you know what, stepdads take a brand, from most relationships. People don't really recognize them. Honey Babe mentioned that we need to acknowledge the stepdads who are present, who have participated in making somebody. You need to acknowledge them, give them their flowers. It's very important.
Yeah, thank you, Misty. That particular question, it might be part of our show tomorrow. Because fortunately I can cover the last part of today's show, which is the Nigeria wife who unlived her husband after she discovered text message on the husband phone. She actually got sentenced to death by hanging. I think the case dragged for maybe about 2 or 3 years, but finally she was sentenced to death by hanging. And I was going to cover that, but right now we don't have enough time, so I'm going to bring it back tomorrow. But that's number 3 question. I think we should discuss it tomorrow because right now we are having divorces left, right, and center. Yes, we are having many children out of wedlocks. And
welcome. I see your comment.
The
accent.
The accent. So we have a lot of homes now that it's a blended family. We have many homes that men are fathering children who are not biologically theirs. And this particular number 3, I will bring it back tomorrow so we can discuss it just for lessons sake. The world is getting crazier. People really don't attach more importance to the fact that a man who is not biologically the father of kids or maybe children that you brought to his home, especially here in the West, in this America, some sisters are getting nastier and crazier now. They will even say, hey, if you marry me, you got to marry my children. If you love me, you got to love my children. Like it is mandatory. Don't get me wrong. You marry a woman with kids, you already saw her baggage. You have to take her and the children in. But the way the narrative is being put out there is like, no, you're a man. No, when you marry me, I have 2 children and things like that. And when I look at it, it goes deeper than that. It goes way, way, way deeper than that. And I think a lot of, yes, ma'am.
If I can, I can definitely tell you that the line that a stepdad plays in a home where he came and they were already children is very difficult because you don't even know whether you have to how far you have to discipline them, whether you may not be crossing the line or not. It's really difficult.
Yeah, there is just too much there. And frankly speaking, the reason I'm bringing it back is I've seen many men who are seriously going through a lot of pains. They can't express it, but you can tell they are struggling because of the children they inherited from their now wives. Many of the children are now grown. Some of them, the children are not grown yet. We need to have these difficult conversations so that women can begin to appreciate men who step up to take care of a responsibility that is not originally theirs. I shared a video in the backstage where a woman was narrating what happened to a man. The man raised this kid, everything. On graduation day, they got ticket and space for 8 people. Of all the 8 people she invited for the graduation, guess who was not invited? The stepdad that raised her, pay for everything. Even as at the time of the graduation, the stepdad is still paying for her car note and her car insurance.
Right.
And the
I
man
saw that.
was the man,
That was
yeah,
just disgusting. Very
yeah.
painful.
So the man felt so pain that what all this thing that I do. So this thing is so dynamic. Many of these men that are moving around as Mugo Park that are not responsible for children that they brought into this world, they are so tricky. Once you are a stepfather, you raise these children, they are now successful, they are graduate, now working. Those fathers will crawl out of nowhere and they will tell some crazy stories to the children. Now, the children we have in Western world, there are some of them that if they don't see the father is just telling the story. They don't give it an F. They will tell him to go fuck himself. But there are some of them too that, just like we discussed earlier, because when you are raising kids, you are more or less like their number one enemy. Children nowadays, they want to get away with so many things. And as a stepdad, if you are trying to correct them, you are not allowing them to get away with something. You are like their primary enemy, number one. And I said, even we that we are raising our own biological children, we face the same thing almost every time. It can be smooth, sweet this week. Next week, it could be tough just because you don't let your kids to get away with some things. So some of the children will develop resentment towards the stepdad. Now, after the stepdad have paid for everything, cover everything, they become a graduate, their father will show up somewhere, and then now being nice, being cozy, and all of a sudden, it's just like, don't mind my stepdad. I appreciate him. I appreciate him. He do take care of me. He supported me. He did something. But my dad is still my dad. At the end of the day, my dad is still my dad. And that's why I was saying earlier when Okwemeka said, Ben, this is harsh. That's why I said, for me, if I'm a stepdad, I took care of you everything. When I married your mom brought you, I took care of you everything. And now you are grown up. And you are giving me that energy, like just because the way I was raising you, we are having some glitches, and you are not giving me that energy that, oh, my dad, I gotta find my dad. Oh, I just found my dad. Mom, dad, I'm gonna go see my dad next week. He's lonely. I just want to spend days with my dad. For me, at the talker now, me as Uncle Beno, I go tell your mama, when this your pikin go, he's not coming back to this house. I swear. If marriage won't break, now there you go break. Me, I know they hide my own feeling. I go tell your mama, when he go, from now on, let it go and take care of that in Papa. So the bottom line is, these are very sensitive things. So if anybody who found themselves in that situation now, begin to think about the stepdad feeling, or even the stepmom. There are some kids like that too, that they marry a man, there's some woman marry a man who already have kids. The mother, the woman will be the one who take care of those children, do everything. By the time the children, they become successful, boom, their mama go crawl out of wherever she is. Then some of them don't just know. Oh, she is my mom. She gave back to me. You don't want me to say mama. I want more food. So let's just pay attention to how people feel.
Stop.
Yeah, let's pay attention to all that. It's so crazy. Thank you, Misty.
Thank you for having me. I beg to leave.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Uncle Emeka, thank you very much.
Bye, Uncle Emeka.
My Simbi did not talk too much today because Simbi is falling in love. Simbi, guy. Simbi won't do competition. Simbi, what is your final take, Simbi? Before you go come back and say, Uncle Ben, you didn't let me express myself. What's your final take?
Uncle Ben, my final take is, I think you're being too harsh. Just calm down, okay? It's not.
I will be harsh, Ooh, you don't hurt my feelings and my emotion. You hurt my feelings and my emotion. I will become
Uncle Ben,
narcissistic.
Even when they hurt you,
not be narcissistic.
Just forgive. Just forgive. Uncle Ben,
Simbi. How many times? How many times have I told you, Simbi? How many times have I told you that I follow the law of Moses? You slap me, I remove your head. That's how I operate. You hurt my
I
feeling,
get
I hurt
that.
your emotion.
I get that.
I will do what they do.
Mr. Mika and
Simbi,
some people in the chat said you're being harsh, so please, maybe you should just
no,
calm
no,
down.
no. Simbi, is it not Nigeria? You people will say aura for aura. That is me giving aura for aura at my old age. Bagbe o,
Pounded yam for
bagbe o,
pounded
Simbi.
yam. I get you. I get you,
Yes,
sir. You're
egusi soup for
taking.
egusi soup. Yes. And Simbi, let me tell you, do you know I miss okra with egusi soup? When I want to eat egusi and okra, they mix them together.
I am not
That's
surprised, Uncle Ben. I have studied your personality, and you look like someone who is going to even miss ogbono soup and egusi soup. So it's
you,
perfect. It's okay.
you know where, yeah,
You don't
girl.
have to be shy.
Shout out to my man of prestige. Thank you, Baba, for man of prestige. George chime here. So for number one, man of prestige said yes, meaning should grown men search for their father? Man of prestige said yes. Me too. I agree with that 100%. And then to number two question, man of prestige said yes. Should men be compelled to do DNA test? Absolutely, 100%. Carry and go court. And that's why I said, if na me be that guy, we go did that show, I go don't arrest the Babasis. Oh, Marty swear, okay, I know if you arrest her. Na civil lawsuit. Marty Belo court. You must do the DNA by fire, by force. And then the last
Uncle Ben,
one,
you're yelling. You're yelling. You're
let me hear. You are already pissing me off. The last one, man of prestige said, with grace, meaning how should stepdad receive the news of children finding their biological father as adults? So man of prestige said they should do that with grace, 100%. Thank you, MOP. I appreciate. Yeah. Biba, you are laughing. Biba, you don't hear now. If I raise you, Biba, because now where you don't be fine woman, fine, beautiful woman, you can't say you won't go find your papa. If you not find way to tell me, you just go drop on me, bam, like this. After how many years? Timbari baba and go my blow. I don't suffer this speaking finish. You can't crawl out of one place, say you be biological where
Uncle Ben, it's okay. Your reward is in heaven. So just
no,
calm down.
Simbi, I take my reward here on earth. Simbi oti mokoko. I accept and receive and
But Uncle Ben, you always tell me to calm down. That I should, through eyes, I should be calm as a lady, not shout, I'm trying to be that woman you are. Yes, it's true. I'm trying to be that woman right now.
you are not a stepdad now. I'm not a stepdad, but I'm fighting on behalf of all the stepdad. I'm fighting on behalf of stepdad. I'm a jama Rooney. Shock, how you day, my brother? Shock said, confusion, don't confuse.
Uncle Ben, is Chucky, not Chalk.
Oh, Shocky. Stimby.
No, not like Chucky.
Stimby, let me get you. Don't go check in profile picture. I'm beginning to notice something. You they check people profile picture. You don't check Chucky now. You don't say another fine man be this. You are giving him soft landing. Is that why you are pronouncing his name?
No, Uncle Ben, I don't cheat. I'm already with Mr. Emeka, so I'm good.
Simbi, you are not with Mr. Emeka. Which kind of Simbi? No. I will decide who we date with Mr. Emeka. Koko Shilo. Now any lady, any beautiful single lady, when they stress me, now I go give Mr. Emeka. Simbi.
Uncle Ben.
No.
You know my dad is no longer here. You're supposed to be taking care of me. Emma should buy you.
Oh, is that
what? Say something now.
Okay. I see what you are doing, Simbi. I got to go, yeah, girl. So Chucky said to number one, inconclusive. So Chucky, you know what make people go find their father? Okay, number 2, yes. Somebody, Chucky said men should be compelled to do DNA. And number 3, that one tough. Oh. You see, it be like say me and Chucky na the same WhatsApp group now we dey. Yeah, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. Emeka, thank you very much. MOP, shout out Baba. Number 2, MOP said, if the question of paternity comes up, sure, do it. But if she finds out the marriage is over, wahala. And then Emeka say, bro, Ben, most of our people are married to Oyinbo, and half of those Oyinbo have kids already. Nagba suppose they go on for some of those marriage. Nagba suppose. All right, thank you, everybody. I got to go now. We're going to be back tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll talk about this very topic. This lady that unlived her husband and she got sent to jail. Live by hanging. She was crying, yelling in the courtroom, but I guess it is too late. So, women, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But for those who might miss it tomorrow, please, my advice to women, stay the F away from your husband's phone. In fact, let me say it in Sister Chinwe language. Leave the damn phone alone. Leave the damn phone
Me,
alone.
the only time I'll pick up the phone is if I want to make transfer. That's all. Or check the account
Oh, Chuck,
balance.
we go live around 11:30 Central Standard Time. For those in UK, that should be like around 4:30. Yeah, that should be like, is it 4:30, 11:30? Oh, that should be around 5:30 in UK.
Okay, 4:30.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm judging with
yeah,
Nigerian
I think
time.
it should be
Sorry.
around 5:30 now or 4:30. All right. For those who might have stories they want us to cover, send those stories to me on WhatsApp. The number is 512-771-1036. Again, the number is 512-771-1036. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is another fantastic show. We appreciate you, my Auntie Grace. Thank you for coming in. Uncle Emeka, thank you for bringing in a very insightful conversation. Uncle Dio, we are with you, sir. Uncle Dio, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing with us. Only those who have been in this situation of stepdaddy stuff really know how it hurts and how it pains. For me, I lost my dad very early in life, and the person that was supposed to be my stepdaddy, I don't even want to talk about, and that one no be stepdaddy, that one I misroad. And then I got some uncles. I get plenty mad uncles, God forgive me, but I have one uncle that I can't forget for the rest of my life. I spent almost 3 years with him, and he changed his guidance literally changed my life. I was fighting him though when I was with him. I'm a stubborn boy, but my uncle hold it down. So I really don't have much experience with this daddy thing. Maybe I'm having daddy issue. Simbi, am I having daddy issue? Wait, I may be having daddy issue. Is that why I said we throw somebody out of the house? Okay, maybe.
No, Uncle Ben. The only thing I noticed is I think you were being too harsh. At the time, I was agreeing with you, but when Mr. Emeka said no, Uncle Ben, that was too harsh. I thought about it. I was like, yes.
Then you switch to Uncle Emeka instantly.
Forgive Uncle Ben
Is that
and
it?
let go.
You were agreeing with me. You were agreeing with me because Uncle Emeka said something. You switch side. Blood of Zachariah.
No,
I'm
I
leaving
thought
this.
about it.
No.
I thought about it critically,
You
and
cannot
I was
read my
like, Mr. Emeka.
Just they go. Just they go. You don't bias. You are biased, Simbi. You are behaving like Natasha Akpoti. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, girl.